The vast emptiness of space stretched before the observation deck, where Jaiwu stood watching the distant stars. Earth had always been considered a minor planet by the Galactic Confederation, a tiny blue dot barely worth mentioning in the grand tapestry of interstellar civilizations. For generations, humans had been the subject of ridicule. Alien diplomats would gather in grand chambers, their exotic forms shifting and changing, always laughing about the primitive species from a small, unremarkable solar system. They saw humans as nothing more than curious creatures trapped on a single planet, technologically primitive and strategically insignificant. Jaiwu remembered the stories his grandfather used to tell, tales of how alien ambassadors would mock humanity's slow technological progress. They believed humans were centuries away from meaningful space exploration, let alone becoming a galactic power. The Confederation's records showed humans as a species of little consequence, marked with notes of mild amusement and total dismissal. But beneath the surface, something was brewing. Years of being underestimated had created a deep well of determination within humanity. While alien civilizations looked down on them, human scientists, engineers, and military strategists were working in secret. They understood that being underestimated was their greatest advantage. The research facilities hidden across Earth and in discrete orbital stations were anything but primitive. Advanced quantum computing, revolutionary stealth technologies, and breakthrough weapon systems were being developed in absolute secrecy. Each project was more innovative than the last, each breakthrough bringing humanity closer to a moment that would shock the galaxy. Jaiwu's fingers traced the holographic display, showing the current galactic political landscape. The Confederation's star charts clearly marked Earth with a low-tier classification, a designation that would soon prove hilariously incorrect. Humans had been collecting intelligence, studying alien technologies, and preparing for a moment that no one saw coming. Military strategists had spent decades analyzing every piece of intercepted alien communication. They studied weapon systems, communication protocols, and technological weaknesses of various galactic civilizations. While others saw preparation, humans saw opportunity. Every moment of ridicule became fuel for their ultimate plan. The orbital research stations were marvels of engineering, completely hidden from external scans. Advanced materials absorbed and redirected energy signatures, making them invisible to even the most sophisticated alien detection systems. Entire fleets were being constructed in these hidden facilities, each ship a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. Jaiwu understood the plan was about more than just military might. It was about changing the narrative. Humanity would not simply respond to galactic politics, they would define them. The years of being treated as a curiosity would transform into a moment of absolute surprise. In research labs across Earth, scientists like Dr. Mina Park were pushing the boundaries of known physics. Quantum entanglement, advanced propulsion systems, and revolutionary energy manipulation technologies were being developed at a pace that would shock even the most advanced alien civilizations. The military had been preparing too. Specialized training programs created a new breed of soldiers and spaceship crews. They were not just fighters, but strategic thinkers who understood that their greatest weapon was their ability to be consistently underestimated. Political leaders had maintained a facade of diplomatic weakness, carefully orchestrating an image of a species still struggling with internal conflicts. This was all part of the grand deception. While alien diplomats laughed and dismissed humans, a complex strategy was being implemented. Jaiwu looked out at the stars, a slight smile forming on his lips. The galaxy didn't know what was coming. Humanity had been patient, careful, and most importantly, completely overlooked. But that was about to change. The moment of reckoning was approaching. And when it arrived, the galaxy would never be the same again. Deep within a hidden orbital facility, Dr. Mina Park adjusted her advanced quantum scanning equipment. The room hummed with complex machinery, each device carefully designed to remain undetectable by external scans. Rows of holographic displays flickered with intricate data streams, revealing humanity's most closely guarded secret project. Military strategists had spent years developing a comprehensive plan that went far beyond traditional warfare. They understood that true power wasn't about overwhelming force, but about precision and surprise. Every piece of technology was being engineered with one ultimate goal: to make humanity invisible until the moment of attack. Byung-woo, the lead strategic coordinator, reviewed multiple holographic projections. His team had mapped out every potential alien detection method, creating counter-technologies that could completely mask human technological signatures. Quantum cloaking wasn't just a theory anymore, it was becoming a reality. The orbital research station was a marvel of engineering. Located in a region of space carefully selected to avoid standard galactic scanning routes, the facility looked like nothing more than a simple maintenance satellite from the outside. Sophisticated adaptive camouflage technology made it blend perfectly with the surrounding space debris. Hundreds of engineers worked in shifts, each team carefully isolated to prevent any potential information leak. They understood the stakes of their mission. Years of alien mockery had transformed into a precise, calculated response. Every technological breakthrough was a step closer to changing the galactic power structure. Advanced material science teams had developed quantum-absorptive hull composites that could completely eliminate energy signatures. Traditional spaceship detection methods would become useless against these revolutionary designs. Stealth was no longer about hiding, it was about becoming a technological ghost. Communication systems were equally sophisticated. Quantum entanglement communication networks allowed for instant, undetectable information exchange. Traditional communication methods used by alien civilizations would be completely ineffective against these new human technologies. Weapon systems were being designed with surgical precision. Unlike traditional military approaches that focused on massive destructive power, human engineers were creating technologies that could disable complex systems with minimal collateral damage. Each weapon was a carefully crafted instrument of strategic intervention. Dr. Park watched as her team completed another successful test of the quantum cloaking system. The holographic displays showed multiple simulation scenarios, each demonstrating how human spacecraft could move through space without generating any recognizable energy signatures. What seemed impossible was now becoming a reality. Training programs for potential crew members were equally intense. Selected personnel underwent rigorous psychological and technical preparation. They weren't just soldiers or engineers, they were pioneers of a new approach to galactic interaction. Each candidate was chosen not just for technical skills, but for their ability to think beyond conventional military strategies. The facility's power systems were a technological marvel. Advanced zero-point energy extraction methods provided unlimited power without any detectable emissions. Solar systems, fusion reactors, and quantum energy collectors worked in perfect harmony, creating a self-sustaining technological ecosystem. Byung-woo reviewed the final preparations. The stealth fleet was almost ready. Dozens of spacecraft, each more advanced than entire alien civilization's current technologies, waited silently in hidden launch bays. They represented humanity's ultimate response to years of galactic dismissal. Political leaders maintained a carefully constructed facade of technological weakness. Diplomatic communications continued to portray humans as a developing species, still struggling with basic space exploration challenges. This elaborate deception was the perfect cover for their true capabilities. Dr. Park looked at the final system readouts. Years of work, countless sleepless nights, and unprecedented technological innovations had brought them to this moment. The galaxy had no idea what was coming. Humanity was ready. And the element of surprise would be their most powerful weapon. The quantum cloaking technology represented humanity's most significant breakthrough in centuries. Dr. Mina Park stood before a massive holographic display, her fingers dancing across complex computational models that seemed to defy everything known about physics and space travel. What made this technology revolutionary wasn't just its ability to hide spacecraft. It could completely manipulate electromagnetic and gravitational signatures, essentially turning ships into ghosts that could move through space undetected. Traditional alien scanning technologies would see nothing more than empty space, even when a massive spacecraft was mere meters away. The core of the technology emerged from an unexpected combination of quantum mechanics, advanced material science, and breakthrough energy manipulation techniques. Years of research had shown that detection wasn't about blocking signals, but about perfectly mimicking the surrounding environment's natural energy patterns. Quantum entanglement played a crucial role. Each ship's adaptive hull could instantaneously adjust its molecular structure, absorbing and redirecting energy waves across multiple dimensional frequencies. What seemed like science fiction was now becoming a practical technological reality. Byung-woo, the lead strategic coordinator, understood the technology's true potential. This wasn't just about military advantage, it was about rewriting the fundamental rules of space exploration. Humanity could now move through space like a phantom, observing and potentially intervening without anyone knowing. Prototype tests had been conducted in absolute secrecy. Remote solar system locations became testing grounds where experimental spacecraft would vanish from every known scanning method. Alien deep space monitoring stations would record nothing unusual, just the typical background radiation of empty space. The team had developed multiple layers of technological defense. Primary quantum cloaking would render ships invisible. Secondary systems could instantly redirect any accidental energy emissions, making detection virtually impossible. Tertiary adaptive camouflage could even mimic surrounding space debris if necessary. Communication systems were equally revolutionary. Quantum communication networks allowed instant, undetectable information exchange across vast distances. Traditional communication methods used by alien civilizations would become obsolete compared to these new human technologies. Dr. Park's team had discovered something even more profound. Their research suggested that quantum cloaking could be applied beyond spacecraft. Entire planetary defense systems could potentially be developed, creating invisible shields that could protect entire worlds from external threats. The technological implications were staggering. What the Galactic Confederation considered impossible was now a functioning reality. Humanity had not just caught up with advanced civilizations, they had leapfrogged them entirely. Each breakthrough came with careful, methodical testing. Simulation after simulation proved the technology's effectiveness. Mathematical models showed a 99.998% success rate in remaining undetected under various scanning conditions. Military strategists began developing comprehensive deployment plans. The stealth fleet would be more than just a defensive mechanism. It represented humanity's ability to observe, understand, and potentially intervene in galactic affairs without anyone knowing. Byung-woo reviewed the final preparation documents. The technological leap wasn't just about military superiority. It represented humanity's potential to become a true galactic power, capable of strategic interventions that could reshape entire political landscapes. Dr. Park understood the weight of their achievement. This wasn't just a technological breakthrough, it was a moment that would define humanity's future in the cosmos. Years of being considered a primitive species were about to be completely rewritten. The quantum cloaking system represented more than advanced technology. It was a statement, a declaration that humanity would no longer be underestimated or overlooked. The galaxy was about to learn that the smallest species could also be the most innovative. As holographic displays continued to show complex computational models, Dr. Park allowed herself a small smile. The moment of revelation was approaching. And when it arrived, everything would change. Humanity was ready. The technological leap was complete. The Coral Confederation's primary military hub glowed with thousands of active communication systems and defense networks. Massive space stations hummed with what seemed like impenetrable technological superiority. Alien commanders believed their systems were unbreakable, their defenses insurmountable. They were wrong. Jiwa's stealth fleet decloaked simultaneously across multiple critical control centers. The sudden appearance was so precise, so unexpected, that initial sensors didn't even register the threat. Human spacecraft materialized like ghosts, their quantum disruption weapons already charging. The first strike targeted communication networks. Quantum algorithms developed by Dr. Mina Park's team infiltrated complex alien systems in microseconds. Firewall after firewall crumbled, not through brute force, but through intelligent, adaptive penetration techniques that anticipated every defensive response. Defense platforms went dark one by one. Alien commanders watched in absolute horror as their most secure systems became nothing more than useless metal structures. The human technology was so advanced, so unexpected, that traditional defensive protocols became completely ineffective. Precision was key. Each human strike was calculated to maximum efficiency. Unlike traditional warfare that relied on massive destruction, these attacks surgically disabled critical infrastructure. Power systems, communication networks, and defense grids collapsed without a single explosive detonation. Ambassador Take, who had spent years mocking humanity, found himself watching helplessly as his civilization's technological superiority crumbled. The very systems he had bragged about became vulnerabilities, exploited with mathematical precision by the species he had considered insignificant. Quantum disruption weapons didn't just disable systems, they reprogrammed them. Critical defense networks began broadcasting conflicting information, creating internal chaos. Alien military units found their own systems turning against them, communication channels becoming unintelligible noise. The human fleet moved with impossible grace. Each spacecraft seemed to anticipate potential counterattacks before they could be initiated. Adaptive stealth technologies made them appear and disappear at will, striking with surgical precision and then vanishing before any meaningful response could be organized. Strategic military installations across the Coral Confederation's primary sectors went offline within minutes. What would have traditionally required massive fleet engagements was accomplished through intelligent, targeted technological intervention. Byung-woo watched the operations progress from the Human Command Center. Years of preparation, decades of strategic planning, had led to this moment. Each movement was choreographed with mathematical precision, each strike designed to create maximum strategic impact with minimal direct conflict. The psychological impact was perhaps more significant than the technological defeat. Alien civilizations had spent generations believing humans were technologically inferior. This strike demonstrated not just military capability, but a level of strategic thinking that completely redefined galactic power dynamics. Communication intercepts revealed growing panic among alien command structures. Their most secure systems had been compromised, their defensive technologies rendered useless in moments. The species they had mockingly called primitive had just demonstrated technological capabilities beyond anything in galactic history. Within 2 hours, the Coral Confederation's primary military infrastructure was completely neutralized. No massive explosions, no traditional warfare, just a precise, intelligent technological intervention that left their systems in complete disarray. Jaiwoo observed the final stages of the operation. This wasn't just a military strike. It was a message. Humanity would no longer be overlooked or considered a minor species. They had arrived on the galactic stage, and they would be respected. As the last defense systems went offline, a single message was broadcast across all Coral Confederation communication channels. It was simple, direct, and carried a profound message. Humanity is here. And we are not who you thought we were. The unexpected strike was complete. The galaxy would never be the same again. The aftermath of the strike reverberated through every known galactic communication network. Alien civilizations that had once laughed at humanity now watched in stunned silence. The technological demonstration had been more than a military operation, it was a complete restructuring of galactic power dynamics. Diplomatic channels erupted with emergency communications. Representatives from dozens of alien civilizations scrambled to understand how a species they had consistently underestimated could possess such advanced technological capabilities. Intercepted communications revealed total confusion and growing respect. Jaiwo watched the developing situation from the Human Command Center. The strike was never about total destruction, it was about changing perceptions. Humanity had proven they could neutralize entire military infrastructures without firing a single traditional weapon. The message was clear: technological innovation was their true power. The Galactic Confederation's Emergency Council convened in an unprecedented emergency session. For the first time in centuries, humans were not just a footnote on the agenda, they were the primary topic of discussion. Species that had previously ignored Earth now studied every available piece of information about human technological developments. Dr. Mina Park's quantum cloaking technologies became the most studied scientific breakthrough in recent galactic history. Research facilities across multiple alien civilizations began attempting to reverse engineer the technologies that had so completely compromised their defensive systems. Diplomatic protocols changed overnight. Alien ambassadors who had once treated human representatives with casual dismissal now approached negotiations with careful respect. The technological leap had transformed humanity from a minor species to a potential major galactic player. Economic implications were equally profound. Advanced alien civilizations that had monopolized technological trade suddenly found themselves obsolete. Human technologies were generations ahead of existing galactic standards. Trade agreements began shifting, with multiple civilizations seeking partnerships with Earth. Byung-woo understood that the strike was just the beginning. The goal was never total conquest, but establishing a new understanding. Humanity would not be a passive participant in galactic affairs anymore. They would be active, strategic, and technologically superior participants. Military strategists across alien civilizations began complete restructuring of their defensive technologies. The human strike had exposed critical vulnerabilities in systems that were believed to be unbreakable. What seemed like an impossible technological achievement became a wake-up call for technological innovation. The psychological impact was perhaps more significant than the technological demonstration. Generations of alien civilizations had built narratives about human limitations. Those narratives collapsed in moments, replaced by a new understanding of human potential. Communication networks began spreading detailed analyses of the human technological breakthrough. Academic institutions across multiple planets started dedicated research programs to understand how such a primitive species had developed such advanced technologies. Jiwoo knew this was just the first step. Humanity had proven their technological capabilities, but the real challenge would be maintaining this new position of respect. Diplomatic strategies would need to be as precise and intelligent as their technological innovations. The human leadership understood that true power wasn't about military might, but about strategic thinking and technological innovation. The strike had demonstrated that humanity could reshape galactic dynamics through intelligence rather than traditional force. Alien civilizations that had once considered humans a potential future threat now saw them as a potential ally. The technological demonstration had shown that human innovations could benefit entire galactic ecosystems, not just serve individual species' interests. As diplomatic discussions continued, one thing became clear: the galactic order had fundamentally changed. Humanity was no longer an overlooked species. They were a technological power that demanded respect, understanding, and careful consideration. The message was simple but profound: humanity had arrived. And they were here to stay. The new galactic order had begun.